For sure. Okay. So, hold on, let me make sure. So you guys see my screen here? My slides? I think so. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, just give me like give me like one second. I'm like post myself. Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna get started. So hello everyone. My name is Corrie Stoddard. I am a product engineer at Volley, where I make voice games. Who am I? What have I done? How am I qualified to be talking about this subject? Well, my claim to fame is I have indeed made a component library with Material UI. So yeah, and then a fun fact about me is I like cats. I also enjoy capybaras, and dogs are nice too, which I think you will see later on why this information may be a little relevant, but yeah. So yeah, I'm just basically going to be talking about, why would we use Material UI over just regular CSS? Like, who needs all this extra bloat, all this other frameworks? Well, I guess my animation did not work on this, but you can all see. Yeah, so basically the main reasons why I love Material UI is that they have some really nice components that really take care of the layout and do a lot of the kind of really verbose things that we can spend our time doing other things. Then makes it can be really clean up the code. It can it's just really designed nicely. Why reinvent the wheel when some of these solutions are pretty great as is? And also part of the what I'm going to show you in this workshop is how easily you can kind of customize different components across multiple pages and things like that to really save time. Yeah, so I'll get into that. So basically this workshop's kind of focused on multiple things, but like creating a theme, which, like I said, is kind of for global, like if you know that you're going to be doing the same thing with one component, this is kind of the way to create consistency across your application. And there's definitely a lot of variety, different ways that you can target things. There's, it's mainly meant to, like you can target like certain Material components and then like different variants of it. So like you can have like, if you have a checkbox, say you can choose like when it's selected or like it's not selected, there's ways for props. I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with Material UI, but yeah, but then also there's different ways if you really need to, customize something very specific. You can use pseudo class, there's ways around it. You can really kind of do anything. So basically this thing lives in a object, which has a few different values here. The main ones we're going to be focusing on are these three, but there's a few others. So palette is, for colors, typography for, text and such things. And then overrides are basically where you are, or what I was saying, like targeting specific components and how you want them to look. Basically, whatever you want to do with them, you can do. So In addition to a thing, you know, sometimes you really don't want to target everything like this. There are some times when you really have just a specific one-off thing that doesn't apply to anything else. So in those cases, you know, you do have other options. You can use, usually you use the make styles function, which is kind of, I think probably most of this will be better explained in an example, but just like kind of just to prepare you a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna be using the make styles function a lot. And then inline style you can also use if you, I don't really know why you would, but I guess if you really don't want to, if you really want to, you can. But then, and also the box component is another way. It kind of has it's their way. It has access to basically every like CSS property. Yeah, we'll also be using that as well. Like, probably better explained in the example, but yeah, we're going to be using all of these things very shortly. Yeah, so really, what are we doing? How are we? What is the point of this? So basically, okay, I have a pet store that I made. And unfortunately, you know, there's a merge conflict and the CSS was deleted and everything is kind of all over the place. So yeah, you guys are gonna help me recreate it. Yeah, using all of the aforementioned components. Yeah, and then if we have time, we might also create a dark mode, and then after that we'll have questions. And yeah, so if you guys want to follow along, I have created a repo for this code that we're going to be improving. So yeah, if you guys want to clone that and follow along, let me know. And then yeah, also if you have any questions, I know yeah. Are there any questions? No? Okay. So I will give you guys time to do that while I switch over to my code. Oh, quick chat. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, let me just switch my screen sharing here. Okay. Do I do just desktop in general? Do you guys see like the side here? Or like is that annoying? No. Okay. Cool. So let me open this code. And then let me see what we have to work with. So this is maybe not production ready. I might be a little bit embarrassed to present this to someone who's trying to spend $999 million for this cat. So yeah, how can we improve this? Well, I mean, we can start with maybe, you know, so you can see this header here is maybe could be a little bit better aligned. So also I'll just show you real quick kind of what I've been talking about a little bit. Just not, you know, jumping around too much. So basically theme object I've been mentioning. Yeah, so like these are basically the different sub object. You can put it all in one object, but I like to separate them, and then you put it in this, one greater object, and then this is passed to the theme provider in, I believe, index. Yeah. So basically, this is just so the Rester app has access to the theme. You import this component from UI and then just pass this as a prop. And then also, I have imported this CSS baseline component. Kind of just resets everything. It's the same as like CSS reset, if you're familiar with that. Just so that nothing weird and unexpected happens. So yeah, that's that. And so yeah, let's start fixing this header here. So oh yeah, and I'll just show you the components I have just real quick as well. I did call this product. I will say I know like a pet isn't really necessarily a product, but I guess since we're selling it for $1 million, it is. So this is basically where most of the code lives of this page, and then this option list component I made is basically for these. As you can see, though, there's no real way to tell which one was selected as well, which is a problem. I mean, you can, but you can't really see, it's not highlighted or anything. So we'll definitely be fixing that. And then the navigation component, I do have a shopping cart up here. So yeah, that's basically where this lives. And then this pop-up menu is the shopping cart. So yeah, so let's I did just add this one style so that the image will show up. Basically it's just, without it, it's, it has no width. So yeah, so we're gonna keep adding things to this use styles right now. And then this also has access to the values in the theme as we add to that. And there are a lot of default value, like there's spacing and things like that we do have access to right now that can also be changed. But yeah, everything does have a default value. Okay, so basically what we're gonna do is real quick. Yeah, so we're gonna make a new class for the we do this as well, save some space. Actually, no. Let's fix this image a little bit before we do the text, just since we're already halfway there. So I'm gonna put some styles on the image itself. And then when we do that, where's the image container? Okay. So every time we want to add these styles to a component, we just say class name and then classes, whichever. And then we can also use multiple classes for different things. But I mean, if we're doing that a lot, we probably just want to put that in theme. But there are some cases in which, you know, you might want to use something a few different times. Okay, so basically, I want to make this image maybe a little bit less square, personally. I do like a good border radius, so and then some border radius. And I'm also not sure if you guys are super familiar with this JSX or this, but it's basically just the same as CSS with camel case. So, and I personally am a fan of view width, or you know, other such units, but you can do pixel, you can do whatever you want, if you prefer. But I'm gonna do 5 view width for radius, just to make that a little bit more rounded to match, you know, my buttons here. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of shadow, just a little contrast. And I just kind of like got this from, like, I already like wrote this down, but you can, I usually do like a box shadow generator to like preview things. Just a little bit of contrast. And then I think we need a little bit of padding here. So we could do this, we could put this like in the theme, say like every grid item has padding. But for now, since we're using, you know, grids in multiple places, I'm just gonna put it in use styles. Oh, this is my cat. Hello. Excuse me. Okay. Okay. So I'm definitely imaginative with my naming, but I'm gonna call it content. I'm just gonna put padding, and I'm gonna use the theme value for spacing. So you can, oh, hello again. Excuse me. Okay. Dot spacing, and then this this is basically like a multiplier of, there's like a constant, like I believe the default is something like 8 pixels, so the value of this would be, you know, 4 times 8, so 32 pixels. But then you can go in the theme and change whatever that default value is, so that could be, you know, 4, 16, you know, whatever. For now it's 8. So let's see if we have a little bit more space. Oh, right. So let's apply that class to our grid items here. And I can also just explain grid a little, because as you can see, I am a huge fan of grid. There's you know, lists, menus, you know, similar type of components for different things. Use box as well, but you know, for kind of a standard everyday usefulness, grid will always really work, in my opinion. So like basically you have like a container, and then it has like these flex properties, and then each thing that you want, you wrap it in an item. And you can also like nest this. So like you can have like container and then container item, which has its own flex box, its own items. You can I mean, you probably don't want too many of those because at that point it's probably better to refactor, or there's probably, if you have like 5 nested grids, you probably want to do something about it. But in theory, you could have as many as you want. But you shouldn't. But you can. I mean, there are some situations in which, it's kind of unavoidable, and definitely better than the alternatives. So yeah. Anyways, we're going to be adding this class that we just made, add some padding to our columns here. So this would be, I think we want to add it to like the container, or to the, yeah, each of these are their own container, and then this is the grid for like both of these, I believe. So we'll add it to this. Content. And there we go. Okay, there's a little bit more space. I also should check in the chat. I realize now, like if there has been chat, I haven't seen it. I'm not really sure how to see that when I'm sharing my screen, so apologies. Okay, so let's add this also to our other column. There we go. Okay, so we got a little bit more space to start. Cool. So then what we want to do is, 1 second. Okay. So I'm going to, I want to fix these. Yeah, I want to fix these options here. As you can see, it's a little bit unformatted, a little bit inconsistent, not a lot of great spacing there. So I'm going to I'm going to start adding some classes. So a little margin. So say margin model. Oh, not here. Here. Oh, and then I don't know if I mentioned that you take this, you access this by setting it to this function that you create, which is ultimately a function of the mix styles. You can call this whatever you want, really. If you want to call something else, it makes sense to you. Yeah, so let's say let's put this One sec. So this would be in here. Yeah, so that's just for this as well. This. Sorry, just let me focus. I can't distract me a little bit. Okay. Okay. So. What are we doing? Okay. Then we are going to be adding okay, so I'm gonna put this in a box. So I could do a grid for this, but sometimes, you know, I don't want to clutter things up. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. Anyway, so you can basically achieve the same thing by just setting the box display to flex, and then flex direction, enable flex properties. Content. Items. See. And then I want to kind of increase the width to take up the width of the container. I have to about that, and then I'll also show you. So this box component, it kind of has its own shorthand. So where's the where is it? By the way, if you're using Material UI, this documentation, very useful, very helpful. I've looked at it so many times. Here it is. Yeah. So basically, kind of has its own props here. And I'll just explain, like, so like padding, is shortened to P, but you can also do like PX, which would be like padding left and right, or PY, padding top and bottom. And then there's different one. You can also target like left, right, top specifically. For now, I'm just gonna do one. And then we'll come back to this. I mean, not come back to, but like, I believe there's a few other things we need to do to get this to behave. So as you can see, we also need to add Oh. I'm like, I don't. A second. Oh, okay. Zoom. So I have this. My goodness. Why? I isn't this? I'm just trying to figure out like this with 100%. Should work. I don't know why it's not working. By the way, let me make sure. Okay, there's the chat. Yes. Oh no, they're not links, by the way. Anyways. Okay. So, I mean, I guess we will debug right now. Why is this width not 100%? Perhaps I'm applying this class to the wrong item. Or it wasn't a class, it's a box. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's save everything. So yeah, with 100%, and this would be wrapping the oh, right. That's not this is okay. So okay, let me recover. Okay. Secondary options. Basically, I have it to where you can set like each of these things or neither. Like you can just have regular options, and then yeah. So if I'm setting the width of secondary options, that is not indeed the width of the reader option. So yeah, let's add classes dot list to this instead. So I was trying to oh my goodness. Oh. Okay, while I figure this out, you know, let's go to the theme actually. Oh, that's what I'm missing. Okay. That's where all these live. Okay. So let's make these colors a little bit nicer. Okay. So basically like the main values we're trying to set here are primary and secondary. And then there are also, you know, there's like, I think 10 different ones. Like error warning, things like that. But for the most part, we are using these two. And then these can take up to 4, there's like light, main, dark, and contrast text, I believe. But you only have to set main, and it will kind of automatically generate the rest. But you can, in theory, set those explicitly. But a lot of these components will have a prop that you can set as either primary or secondary, like a button, like color second. Let me take off the disable so you can see. So right now, secondary is just like red color. And if I set it to primary, which I believe right now is by default is blue color. And that'll be like the main value. So that's the only, you can't really access like the light and the dark. That is kind of used, it does automatically kind of determine what will contrast with it. So I think it's used like for that purpose. You can't explicitly set that, but what you can do is you can access that within this theme. So you can just say like, you know, color theme dot palette dot primary, and then like dot dark or light or any of those. So yeah. Okay, so let's maybe add a few colors to this palette to make it a little bit more palatable. So I got primary, and then we'll like set the main of both of these at least. So primary and secondary, and a little bit basic. So I'm just gonna go with the color, using this as like an accent, and it's like off black color as our primary. So if we do that, we will have automatically updated these values. You see with the button. I mean, I guess it's similar to the original color, but just so we can verify, you know, it is changed a little bit. So yeah, that is indeed one of the fun things about themes. Then I'm going to set the light color as well to a solid classic FFF. Let me put this disabled back, and then so since we can't see these buttons, we are going to say that I'm just gonna put it in here. So call this navigation. And then we're gonna say the background color. It's dots primary. Cool. Oh, need a comment. Oh, I have a comment. Oh, this is in the wrong spot. Okay. Okay. So now we are going to apply this class to the navigation bar. which would be this. It's right here. Oh, right. This is already. And then I'm going to kind of bring this, anyway. Do some overrides. So we've kind of done enough since we're kind of got about 8 minutes until questions. I'm going to show you how to basically not just use make styles. How do we actually override, every style here? Yeah, so basically okay. So we've basically find the values of these things by looking up the components. So for like app bar, instead of just doing making a class, app bar, and then this API here. This is where we find all the different properties that we can possibly do. Like you said, color primary, secondary, and then these are all the different varieties that we can target. So we say app bar, and then the secondary object would be whatever this rule name is. So if we want to do every instance of app bar, we just say root, or if we want like only the ones that have color primary or color secondary, and I believe there's different. Like if I have something that's root, these other ones are a little bit more specific, so they will override whatever the root styles are if there's a conflict. I think that they're relatively equal, but I don't know like if there's specificity differences within them. But now we'll just do root. And I'm just going to say version. Oh, right. And then since we are only using these icon buttons, the ones that are hidden. So we'll go to UI icon button. And we'll also just do, they're all root. But the different properties are different other than that. Color. Cool. Okay. And then we will say root. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because these are buttons. Okay. So these are buttons, and that's one. Okay. So yes, now we have standardized the width of these buttons. By putting it here. Still not sure why it didn't work in the other place, but that's not important. See, right now, just with one simple line of code, we have standardized this width here. And then we'll say can do a little typography as well, so I haven't really captured that. So in typography, there are, you can just like at the base level, say like font family. And then you can, there are like 13 different components within typography. So you can target any of these, H1 through H6, subtitle, body, and then specify things for those. So right now we want, let's see, you have an H1, H2, make the font family for those a little different, the contrast. Roboto here. So, Durats. I always misspell this one. Durats. Do that for H2. Okay, cool. So I got a little bit of contrast there. And then I will also, well, I've got to fix this. Okay, I've got to fix this. So I'm just gonna put it in a box real quick. So where's this? So within this grid, put a box with around, and then I'm just gonna make this a flex box. So I'm just kind of doing a little flex stuff. So basically setting it to column, aligns this vertically, and then also for, I think this should be when items, or we can actually, I think it's like a choice to make it flex start. So let's see that. Since everything else is, yeah, cool. There we go. So let's just real quick maybe add, I know that I'm kind of running out of time here, but I just want to show you real quick a few different things you can do with typography just to make this stand out a little bit more. So, I'm gonna say most of these in here are H6, I believe, or H5. So we can say 100, just to contrast. Yeah, this is the primary is H5 and secondary is H6. Okay, so H6, not a front weight. H6 will have front weight. 100. Yeah. And then it automatically capitalizes this because it's a header, I believe. So I'm just gonna say text. None. The real value. And then so we can do something a little bit fancy. We want to capitalize this, and then I'll just show you this and then break for questions. But we can do is my typography. And then, so once we're in, we kind of have access to like all these different pseudo selectors. So we do hover, active, or in this case, my favorites is first letter. So we're going to access the first letter pseudo class here of every instance of typography components. We can set that. And we do that. It's a way to capitalize the first letter of every word. So yeah, at least it's looking a little bit closer to I'll show you real quick, the different varieties of pets. My pet store, if you want to buy one for $1 million, you can have this keep B edition capybara or normal. And then yeah, and then we didn't quite have time, but what we're gonna add was a way to highlight the selection, fixing this a little bit, and then as of right now, you can add it to the cart, but it's not positioned well. So if we had time, we would fix that. But yeah, let me stop sharing. So yeah, are there any questions? I mean, if not, I guess I can just try to film like one last feature or something. So we got 7 minutes. Or I'll ramble for like a second. Like, thanks for watching my like prototype of this. I got a little bit confused like with the my I'm confused about what I was confused but had that not happened, I'm very confident that we could have completed this project in less than 1 hour. We could have created a beautiful, and I'll show you the final version of what we could build in like another 15 minutes. It's pretty cool, I think. It's the power, and then yeah, power of Material UI. So let's see. We pull the project. The finished version. A few more lines of code, and we can have this. Yeah, so this with a few more things, just add this selected class and put whatever color we want, and then would have different selections, and then this cart, and this would be our cart. We have a very chill bee capybara. And we could indeed go to the palette here and change this to oh, and there we go. Instantly we have a green thing, like just boom, just automatically across an entire application. You could change it all in an instance. change this to yellow. No, I don't know why. Oh. Well, we can't. We could change this to blue. Good. We would have the power to do that, and then we could change the font to Sans. Or maybe not. I don't know if I have Comic Sans, but yes. If I was, someone with lesser tastes, I definitely could do that. So, yeah, that's my presentation, I guess. Is there any final closing comments? Thank you again. Thank you guys for watching. I do want to do a part 2, where at some point where we do more, where I can get more into the things that I maybe didn't have time for, but yeah. I don't know if I should just end it, or yeah, I know we got 2 minutes, so I can definitely ramble all day long, as you can see here, but yeah, I'll probably, if no one else has anything, probably just close this up in about 1 minute here, or yeah. And again, thank you for watching. It was really fun building. I really love Material UI. It's really just pleasant to work with. So yeah, if you guys are interested, definitely recommend. Yeah, so I guess with that being the case, I'm just gonna call it here and say thank you again for attending my workshop and bearing with me through the I don't know if you'd call it technical difficulties. I would just call it like, yeah, we'll just call it technical difficulties. But I feel like we still learned something, and yeah, maybe part 2, like I said, I would love to do. Yeah. See you guys later.